is disgusting. It's not right, and it has to stop. And it's all because of him. All because of him.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in today. Hope you're all well. Today we're going to talk about a YouTuber called Cody Lachey. I want to shine a little spotlight on some allegations that have come up. He used to go by ex-con Cody on YouTube. I think now he's just called Cody Lachey on YouTube. He's gone into hiding a little bit after some recent developments in his story, which is a very fanciful and complex story anyway. If you've been following the story of Daddygate from the beginning, which is the Shaun Attwood scandal, you will be familiar with who Cody is. Cody had a hand in damaging Shaun Attwood's reputation. It was quite unintentional on Cody's part, but what happened was that he bumped into Darren Gee out and about in Manchester. They went live on YouTube impromptu, and during that live stream, Darren became the first well-known figure and well-known former Shaun Attwood podcast guest to actually speak out about Shaun Attwood. That little live stream was a bit of a sensation on this side of the internet. It went a little bit viral and it turned a lot of attention onto Shaun Attwood's escapades and pretty much prevented Mr. Attwood from containing the fallout of said escapades as well as he would have liked to, because at that point he was in pretty much full damage limitation mode. But this also turned a lot of attention onto Cody because people wanted his take on Mr. Attwood as well as Darren Gee's take on Mr. Attwood. Now Cody ended up wavering back and forth, but first of all he said he doesn't agree with Darren about Shaun Attwood, and then later on he said if he had to choose, he would choose Darren Gee. I'm not sure why a man would have to choose between two of his friends, but there we have it. While all this renewed attention was being directed towards Cody, people raked around a bit, and it turns out that he does have quite the reputation online, as I suggested before. Many different stories are circulating about him. A large amount of these things are documented and proven. He really does have quite the reputation. Things that he's done, people that he's been connected to. I was going to make a video on Cody a little while ago, but as time went on it seemed as if I would just be dredging up his past, and I thought maybe that if he's trying to get on the straight and narrow, it doesn't seem appropriate to just suddenly put out a video just for that. At that point Cody had been quite quiet anyway, so I kind of left it. But there have been some recent developments, and I'm not talking about his solo sexy time when he allegedly snuck into Darren Gee's room and had a wank so ferocious that it woke Darren up. I did briefly touch on that in a previous video, and I have had a few people asking me since that video where I got the information from, if there's more to it. It was actually an Instagram live that Darren put out late on Christmas Eve. I will play a snippet of it. I do have the whole thing. He just breaks down the incident with Cody masturbating in his room. As I say, I'll just play that just now.
The people that are setting up shop on YouTube is ridiculous. You know what? You've got the people like the Chancer. What does the Chancer do? He goes out there, anyone that's popular, he'll go out, he'll make a fake account up, he'll get all the views going, all the subscribers going, and just milk the back out of a few people. That's Chancer's type.
Alright, well that was the wrong clip. That was embarrassing. Let me put the actual correct clip in here.
It is what it is. Cody knows. He knows exactly what went on within the confines of his flat in Bury. He knows exactly what was going on when I awoke. And he knows exactly why he nearly got his fucking jaw splattered across his living room. He knows. Got no need to lie, got no need to talk shit. When I wake up in the middle of the night, something wakes me up and I'm thinking, wow, stood over there in the corner is big man Cody. Now it weren't one of them where he's trying to get into me. It's not one of them where he's trying to bang me while I'm asleep, so don't go there, it's not like that. Now I want to be stone cold Bruce fucking Silver. I'll just tell you fucking straight. I woke up in the middle of the night and Cody Lachey was wanking. Not in his fucking bedroom. He's in the living room where I am, The cunt's wanking. That's what happened, people. Fact. I woke up in the middle of the night in Cody Lachey's. The cunt was wanking. Simple. Now use your own fucking head. I've jumped up and went, whoa, what the fuck are you doing there? Well, why are you up creeping round? Well, get the fuck to bed, Cody, because you're making me nervous, bro. That's what it was. The next morning I'm up like a fucking fox. Are you gay? Are you gay? Nah, I've got a bed, I don't know nothing of his background. So now, I'm not hating on Cody initially. I've only started calling the cunt a rent boy since I realised, hang on, that cunt was fucking wanking over me. I'm laughing because it's so fucking weird. It's strange to be waking up and having a 6 foot fucking man with a... I thought, what the fuck? What's this? I'm wearing him asleep on the couch. His kitchen sort of looks onto the back of his couch. So if you stand in his kitchen, you can see the couch. So when I've raised my head up, I've just seen that fucking big thing and thought, wow, what the fuck's going on, Cody? What are you doing? Nothing, like, what's that noise? Nothing, lad, no, I'm just getting a drink. Ah, yeah, it's fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, bro. What are you doing? It's true, though. Not bullshitting you, I'm telling you facts. That's what happened. I woke up in the middle of the night and Cody Lachey was bashing the fucking bishop. And I mean, there weren't no tug of war going on there. It was fucking bashing the bishop. I mean, slapping the fuck out of it. It was like he was spitting on the... Trust me, bro.
So that was Darren's reported experience at Cody's home, and although it sounds possibly silly, in light of the recent and serious allegations that have come out against Cody, which I'm just about to get into, it could suggest something of a wider pattern. A pattern that suggests that Cody Lachey is just a total degenerate. But the allegations against Cody at the moment, the new allegations, I was first made aware of these by a commenter on my last video, I think. I can't find the comment anymore, but thank you to that person. A couple of things have come up in the last couple of days, and at least 2 women have come forward with claims about potentially psychologically abusive and controlling behaviour from Cody, and some pretty sick stuff. Now, I do try to remain open-minded and sceptical about these things where possible. You've got to weigh things up. People are always innocent until proven otherwise anyway, and all too often you're only getting one side of a story, which could be from a nasty breakup, it could be mudslinging. But in this case, it doesn't seem like these 2 women have just come forward and made these things up. I'll let you decide for yourselves, of course. You can do your own research as well. I'm going to put a lot of links in the description to channels that are covering this situation in a lot more detail, because there's a lot to get through, and I'm not going to manage to cover even a 10th of it in this video. So excuse me if I've not got the timeline 100%, because these 2 ladies both came forward at around about the same time, but I think what started it all off was a lady called Lilly Lewis, if I'm not mistaken. A couple of days back, she started talking about her relationship with Cody. Now, a lot of people thought that she was actually Cody's girlfriend, and Cody had suggested to a lot of people that she was his girlfriend. She denies this completely, says she was never Cody's girlfriend at all. She says they met up a few times, they speak to each other, things got physical a couple of times. She says alcohol was involved, so you can make of that what you will in terms of how she views things with Cody. She met Cody due to her own experiences of being in prison, and Cody's channel, he's been in prison as well, Cody's channel is all about playing this kind of agony uncle type supportive role, bringing people together who've had experiences of being in prison and people struggling with mental health issues and things like that. That's the kind of niche that he's put himself into, a kind of supportive niche or role. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but it appears that that's what drew Lilly towards him in the first place, their shared experience of prison. That's how she became aware of him, so effectively she's a subscriber to his channel. The main thing I really took away from Lilly's comments, because it didn't all blow up at that point, was the fact that Cody threatened to release private photographs that she'd sent him if she told anything about their relationship on a live stream.
My biggest concern, well, I don't even have a concern, I don't give a fuck really, but he's like, I've got pictures of you, and if you go on John Morris, I'm going to start revenge and putting your pictures out. So I don't even know what the guy's capable of, but you might that's
what he's... So that's quite interesting, and it certainly takes a special kind of person to do that. It appears that this then led to another woman coming forward whose name is Shelly B. As I say, I'll put links to channels in the description if I know what those links are. Shelly B went on a live stream on her own channel. Again, she was a subscriber of Codys. The testimony of Shelly is something else. I think this is really what became the point of no return for Cody. This is what lost Cody any support that he might have had, the outrage that this caused. Shelly talks extremely openly. She obviously finds it difficult to talk about this situation. It's obviously an emotionally draining situation, but she has come forward and told how she was in a relationship. It was online only, this relationship, but she was in a relationship with Cody, which she believed was a monogamous and faithful relationship, although Cody continuously asked her if she was seeing other men. She thought they were in this relationship together. She tells about how she had very low self-esteem, or how she has very low self-esteem, and she also tells how she trusted Cody, and she tells how she was a bit naive about this kind of relationship situation. But Shelly's very open. She's openly talking about herself and these feelings that she has. She also mentions that she's a single mother with a teenage son, and that becomes relevant to this story shortly. So what's come out from Shelly's testimony then is that over a 4-month period, Cody manipulated and mentally abused her. He also leached money off her and gathered, or attempted to gather, information and material about her over time. For what purpose we don't know, but if he's been threatening to release images of one person, it's not hard to imagine he would do the same to another person. Shelly also says that she thinks Cody has been sharing images of her. She's fairly sure that he has been sharing these images with some of his other subscribers and other people because of certain comments that she's seen in the live chats, which only somebody who's seen those videos could know. Now anyway, she believed that, as I say, they were in a relationship. Cody would get her to send personal photographs to him. Never once did he send any personal photographs back during the whole 4 months. I think that's probably worth mentioning because it shows that it was an extremely one-sided situation. And Shelly kind of made it sound like he would have to kind of pressure her to send them to him because she was quite shy. She didn't want to send those kinds of images. She hadn't done it to anyone before, so she was hesitant. But she was persuaded to send these photographs on a few different occasions and videos on a few different occasions to Cody. And she says every time she sent one, he would just suddenly follow up by asking for more. So she would send 2 or 3, and then Cody would just cut off conversation with her. He would stop speaking to her, sometimes completely ignore her for a few days. So she'd send him these personal photographs, which she wasn't really that comfortable doing, but because she saw Cody as her partner, she did it to make him happy. And then he would suddenly just stop speaking to her. He wouldn't respond once she'd sent it, other than to ask for more, and then once she'd sent more, he wouldn't respond to her. So you can only imagine how that made her feel, and she does explain that it made her feel worthless, used, and that something wasn't right about the situation at all. So that's bad enough on its own, but it does get a lot worse than that. He tries to lead her down ever more twisted paths, according to Shelly. I'll just play her own words here so you can hear it for yourself. And you can also see the reaction of the 2 guys that she's telling about this, which says it all. I think they are other former subscribers of Cody, but don't quote me on that. But here's Shelly talking to them about Cody on a live stream on her channel just a couple of days ago.
And then he would go, and then he would like speak to me on like some other sick, twisted levels, like, has my son ever touched me? Why would you say that to me?
The fuck? What?
Yeah, but I questioned him. I said, why are you asking me that question?
So where do you even begin with something like that? It obviously has caused a lot of disgust among Cody's viewers. Until this point, Cody did have quite a lot of allies, people willing to defend him, and that was in spite of an increasing number of different complaints and allegations of mistreatment towards subscribers and things like that that were being made against him. For example, apparently 3 of his female subscribers made a WhatsApp group, and Cody got very, very unhappy that they'd made this WhatsApp group that he wasn't in because he couldn't see what they were saying. When he found out about this WhatsApp group, he ended up banning people from his channel and things like that. There's information about that out there. I don't know too much about what's going on, but it just shows, you know, there's some mistreatment of people going on. Now, he did have a lot of loyal supporters despite this, because what Cody was doing was telling people that it was all just the work of trolls, which is a familiar argument that we've heard. You do, of course, get trolls, but it's a very easy thing to just blame trolls when you're getting called out for your own behaviour. Nevertheless, that's what Cody did. But Shelley's claims here are just so depraved that Cody's remaining supporters have all turned against him, and understandably so. As I say, I'm not going to name any names other than the people that have made the accusations against him, because I don't want to name people who might not want to have their name in the video. But Cody gave his channel to somebody, or let somebody take over his channel, and that person has left. He's just going to do it on his own channel now. There was another guy who was like Cody's best friend kind of thing. He's posted a WhatsApp message, a very scathing WhatsApp message online, because after all this came out, Cody went into hiding. Cody disappeared for a couple of days and was uncontactable. So this guy posted this message on YouTube so people could see what he sent Cody, because this guy was getting a bit of flack as well for supporting Cody, I think. So he wanted to make it clear that he's sent Cody this message. He knew that Cody would see it if he put it on YouTube. And, you know, it's quite a scathing message. You'll note that this message mentions a dog. This guy was actually going to get a dog for Cody. You'll notice how he said he's relieved he never gave this dog to Cody, and he'd be rescuing the dog if he did. And the reason for this is because Cody had actually asked Shelly to send private videos featuring herself and her dogs.
When he was asking me to do that stuff, and, you know, and he was asking me to do some sick, vile stuff as well in videos that I've never even dreamt of doing in my life, you know, and I'm not gonna, like, you know, I like my dogs, yeah? That's all I'm gonna say, yeah? I love my dogs, right? But I've never experienced anything like this in my life. Done to me, obviously, with, you know, with the photos and the videos, getting me to do stuff like that. And obviously with the dogs as well, with my animals, it's not on, it's sick, it's perverted, it's disgusting. And what I'm saying is the truth. So, you know, I've got messages, you know, I'm not lying. Like, he's told people that I've been lying, like his side, or twisting it. It's the truth. I've got it here.
So along with the other message that he sent her about her son, this message about the dogs is almost beyond words, really. And you can't help but feel really sorry for Shelly here, because she's having to deal with all this from a person who she's trusting and sees as a partner, and he's asking her to do these things. It's, in my opinion, if this is true and it actually has happened, it's abusive behaviour. And it's not a stretch to imagine that if for whatever reason this woman had been extremely vulnerable and had somehow been coerced into doing this for Cody, obviously she wouldn't be, but if she had somehow been coerced into doing it, that kind of image or video could just be used to blackmail her for life. Now, I know this is all based on statements from 2 people, Shelly and Lilly, and Cody hasn't responded yet, or at least not in a video that he's left on his channel. But Shelly has said that she is going to report Cody to the police. She says that she's actually going to the police station with somebody who's offered to go with her to give a statement.
I'm going to stop him from doing it to anybody else. I've spoke to somebody today and they're going to come with me. So, you know what? You better stop, Cody, because what you do is wrong.
So that should hopefully settle any doubt in people's minds. If this is someone just making up stories about Cody, then they're taking it a bit far by going to the police. Of course, innocent until proven guilty, but this person is saying that she's going to go to the police regarding this. It just seems to be very bizarre and odd things to make up as well. Now, Shelly also said that during the 4 months that she was with Cody, she was giving him money in dribs and drabs. He was asking for money, basically, here and there, just little bits. She checked her bank just recently and worked out that during the time they were together, she'd given him just over £200, so an average of over £50 a month. And it just makes you wonder why Cody would even be getting money off of his partner.
Bank the other day, all in all, just over 200 in dribs and drabs, helping him out.
If that is true, it shows that Cody is a parasite, or lives a parasitic lifestyle, which alongside everything else we've heard, builds up a profile of somebody that would be a psychologist's wet dream. If these things are true, it sounds like Shelly was used in some of the worst possible ways by Cody, and he attempted to gather very incriminating material on her for some reason. Whether that was just to debase her totally and humiliate her, or just for the purposes of blackmail, or for something completely different, who knows. But it's no surprise that she said that she feels destroyed by this. It's been an experience that has probably exhausted her entire being. And she went through this, as I say, for 4 months while Cody was playing the good supportive ex-prisoner on his channel. The guy that brings everyone together and looks after people with mental health issues and supports people when they've got to go to court and things like that. Now, a lot of people have rallied round Shelly, as she deserves, and a lot of people have turned on Cody. As I say, we haven't had a proper response from Cody at all. After threatening to release the nude photos of Lilly, didn't stop her still telling her story. He turned off all the comments on his channel. He did do a live stream in which he appears to be crying while claiming that the trolls have won, but this stream was deleted for obvious reasons, I think. But he hasn't actually put out a proper response and left it on his channel, which I think he really does need to do. There is a whole wealth of information out there about Cody Lachey, either under that name or other names that he's used, as I'm sure many of you do know. He's dressed up as a soldier years after he's been kicked out of the army in order to get access to Lee Rigby's mum's house after Lee Rigby was murdered. He's sparked up friendships by writing to child abusers and child killers who are in prison, including Ian Brady, the Moors murderer, and Mick Philpott, the man who set his house on fire and killed 6 children. He's also been on Newsnight, where he was introduced as a war veteran, Afghanistan war veteran, which he was called out for because he wasn't a veteran of these wars.
You have fought for Queen and Country twice in Afghanistan. You did a tour in Bosnia. Yep. You've also been a security guard for many different shops in the city, including Selfridges. Why don't you turn in those looters?
He's been in newspapers, various different little stories here and there, silly little stories, and he seems to like the limelight when he wants it. And I don't really want to get into Cody's entire backstory here anyway, because it will just dilute what's come out from Lilly and Shelly, but I might well do a video on Cody's background, or some of the things in Cody's background, at some point soon. Anyway, since all this information has come out, it might be interesting to go over those things. But regarding this video, I'm going to leave it here. It's dragging on a bit. As I say, I've put the links to other channels in the description, where there is a lot more on this topic for you to get into, so that way you can look into things yourself. I certainly haven't gone into great detail in this video at all. I just wanted those main points covered and put out there. Let me know what you think in the comments regarding this sad, sorry situation, folks, and let me know if I've missed anything out as well. Please do subscribe if you're not already. A lot of people have been subscribing recently, so hello to all the new subscribers. It'd be great if you're listening, if you're not subscribed, if you could subscribe as well. If you like the video, please like it. I know it is a darker theme. It does help to ensure that more people will see this video on YouTube about Cody, and it gets this information out there. And please also, in that vein, please feel free to share this video on your social media as well. Okay folks, so I am leaving it there now. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend, or the rest of the week, depending when you're watching this. And I'll catch you all on the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.